Hi, I will be showing you how to make buffalo chicken dip. For things that you'll need a crock pot or a little kettle. You'll need one thing of cream cheese. You'll need some cheddar cheese or any cheese that you prefer. You'll need 2 cans of white chicken. You'll need two 1 cup measuring cups, and then you also need ranch and hot sauce. To start out, you'll have to open up the cream cheese and let it thaw for a little bit so it's about room temperature. You'll put that in the crock pot and you'll stir that around until it melts most of the way. And then once it melts, you can put in your cheese. So you just have to let that melt. And while you're waiting for that, you can measure out your hot sauce and your ranch. You'll need a cup of ranch and a half a cup of hot sauce. Some things that I like to make this for is for like family gatherings like Christmas or birthdays or any time where it would be a good snack to have. So you have your ranch and your hot sauce already measured out, so you're ready to do that. And while you're also letting the cream cheese melt, you can drain the juice off of your chicken because you will not need the juice for this. And then I like to take 2 forks and pull the chicken apart because instead of it being chunks of chicken, it's more like shredded chicken, which it's a lot easier to serve like that and it's a lot easier to eat like that. And you seem to get a lot more out of it. So you're just going to keep pulling it apart. You don't have to put this in a separate bowl. You can just leave it in the can if you like. And then you do the other can the same way. I find that most people like buffalo chicken dip because it has a nice kick to it, but there are some people who don't like it because it might be too spicy or they don't like spicy foods. So you can change how like the amount of heat that it gives off if you add more hot sauce or if you add less or if you add more ranch or depending on what you want it or who you will be serving it to. So after you get that all done, you'll go check the cream cheese. And really make sure you get all the chunks out of it. And I like to use a crock pot because you really don't need to change what you're serving it in. You can just leave it right in the crock pot, or if you prefer to serve it cold, that's also good. I like to do it warm because I think it tastes better, but depending on after you make it, if you change your mind and you want to leave it or keep it cold or keep it hot or whatever, it's all up to you. I just think warm, it's like, I think it gives it a little bit more of a spicy taste, but if you let it get cold, it might not change much, but just keep on stirring that cream cheese, and after you get it mostly melted, you can add your 2 cups of, I'm using Marble Jack cheese and it's shredded cheese, 2 cups of it, and you'll just kind of sprinkle some in there, about a cup at a time. And you'll just stir that in until them get melted together. And you can add the rest of it. And just keep on stirring until you get them both pretty well melted, because you don't want to have chunks of cream cheese or just chunks of cheese, because that isn't what we want. And after you get it mostly mixed together, you can put your chicken in. I usually do 1 can at a time because it's a little easier to stir in than doing both cans. It's not so much. And then you just go back and stir that in. And make sure you get everything that's on the bottom, because you don't want to leave the melted cheese and cream cheese at the bottom. You're going to take your other can and put that in there too. You're going to stir that one in too. And then, after that, after you get it stirred in, you can add your hot sauce and your ranch. And I like to start out with the ranch first, a cup of ranch. And then I like to stir that in first before I add the hot sauce. And then usually you can just add however much hot sauce you like. So you'll just have to keep tasting it as long as you go. Make sure you get everything covered in ranch. And it varies on like what you want to do. You can add more ranch or more hot sauce. It kind of like the recipe will change as you make it or as you get to know how to make it. And then you add your hot sauce and you just pour that all over. And then you stir that all in. And I know you're thinking half a cup of hot sauce is a lot, but after the cream cheese and the ranch and everything is fully melted, it actually turns out to not be too hot. So I'll just keep stirring that until everything's all mixed together. You can always try to do this, and you can always make smaller ones. This makes about half of this crock pot size. It's not too much. But you can always, the recipe is easy to double. It's not terribly hard, and it's really easy to make. Anybody can pretty much make it. You just keep on stirring until you think you got everything mixed. Should get everything off the sides. And depending on what you would like the consistency to be, if you would like it to be a little thicker, then don't add as much ranch and hot sauce and cheese. And you could maybe cut the cream cheese in half if you would like, but if you'd like it a little, I wouldn't say runnier, but not so thick, you can add more. If you like it cheesier, add more cheese. You can always alter the recipe as you go. But this is the recipe that I follow all the time, and I sometimes will double it, or I'll leave it the same, or whatever the occasion is. And then after you get it all mixed up, and everything's all melted, and everything's covered in hot sauce and ranch, the end result will look like this. And you can serve it with pita chips. You can serve it with crackers. You can serve it whatever you like. Sandwiches are good made out of this. If you take a piece of bread and put like mayo or more ranch, and then you put this on there. I think it's really nice to make this because it's something quick that you can do if you're running out of time or don't know what to make. This is something really nice and easy, and most people do like it. They might not like this, like the amount of spice that it has to it, but you can always tone that down yourself with adding more ranch to it as you go. And the chips also help to die down on the spiciness. Thank you.